Well, hello. Today I thought I'd take you for a little trip just to see how our spring flowers are doing. Here they kind of hacked at these roses. These are my knockout roses. And they assured me that they will come up beautifully. But right now they kind of look sticky. A bunch of sticks around the roses. Anyway, those are my knockouts. And they will bloom profusely through the summer. Here are my drift roses. Aren't they gorgeous? I would recommend that you get drift roses if you love roses. Those are the three different colors: the dark coral, light coral, yellow. I believe there's white too. But they bloom profusely all summer long. They'll die back for a bit, for maybe 3 weeks, but then they come back beautifully. Here is the little wishing well, I guess, or I kind of thought of it as a wishing well, but it's not really. It's a stone planter that Rosie got the boys excited about, and she was kind of supervisor, and they made this for me. A friend bought me this statue, and then they planted vinca all about it. Okay, and then there's junk. And Rosie is reupholstering these chairs. She's got the bottoms done. She's working on the tops. And then here's our pansies. We will change these out as it gets hotter because pansies don't like heat. Here's our wave petunias. These burgundy wave petunias are something else. Last year they were amazing. So there's the Sacred Heart that my husband built the grotto around, and then the planter with all the beautiful plants in it. Here's another window box with the pansies. And here's a couple of planters that hubby put together for my birthday. It might have been for Mother's Day. And then this was just some these are finds that we get from our favorite thrift store, God's Storehouse. Same with these chairs. And we get the new coconut liners every year, and then that's rose moss. And this will be profuse colors in the summer. And they're very hardy. We got these wheels, that one, and then that one over there, from a garage sale. Here's the lovely rock work that my husband did. And there's things in the nooks and crannies. And then a big geranium, some more birdhouses, the little violas. We will change those out too as it gets hotter. And this is a beautiful rose that is about to just burst. I mean, look at the buds on there. That's been around for a long time. We just love the way it crawls out amongst the rocks. And then there's the nice, I forget what those are called, but the fire burner things. That was a gift from a friend. And then here's different little perennials that Rosie has worked on. She takes care of all this stuff out here between her and my husband, but especially Rosie. Here, I'm just going to walk up this sidewalk now. Here's a drift rose. This is kind of our cactus garden, we call it. And we just got little doodads along the way, and my husband put the rocks in. There's a yucca plant. There's a red bud. See the neat containers that we get just to add some interest. That's our propane tank, and we're able to cover it up. There's a clematis. And then here's, I think it's called a sand cherry tree. And then we come over here, a hosta, little juniper maybe, or just a little evergreen. Here's our sedum. Here's another drift rose, some gerbera daisies. This is a sumac tree. This is neat. I really like these. Little sumac tree. My husband picked that out of a dump. And it was just small, and we looked at the price tag. It said $79. We couldn't believe it. It was just small, and every year it grows a little bit more, and it's just really pretty. The leaves are just so pretty and feathery. Adds some real interest in the landscape. Beautiful coral drift rose. I use a lot of the roses for cut flowers by Our Lady inside and on the table. So walking over to this other little rock garden that Rosie has worked at. Here's some rose moss. Those will be in bloom. I'll probably take another one maybe midsummer when everything is in full bloom. And then over here is really our joy, which it looks so beautiful at night too, but my husband and Rosie did this last year. So Rosie did the pathway. Isn't it lovely? With all the red rock. We got some solar lights put in there from Sam's this year. And then here's Our Lady. And Vincent took this special wood. And he had it planed at a, I don't know, some kind of wood place. And then, you know, and then we got this beautiful statue, and a big wind came and blew it down and broke it into a lot of pieces. And my son picked it up, brought it home with him, and put it all back together, repainted it. We couldn't believe that he was able to do that. If I showed you pictures, I think you'd be astonished. So anyway, oh, and this wisteria. Look at the wisteria growing up here. I've never had wisteria. And it will, through the years, it will overtake this whole grotto. There's one on the other side and it hasn't bloomed at all. It didn't bloom last year either, so I'm not quite sure why. But anyway, beautiful. And then in the back, we planted a Catalpa tree. And it's got big, big leaves. We've always wanted a Catalpa tree, so it will provide a lot of shade. And then if I turn this around, there's our garden. This was an old bench we found at a garage sale, and Angelo redid the bottom of it because it was falling in. And then here's a swing that we bought a long time ago, and it was kind of falling apart, and Angelo restained it, and he made it more stable. So we sit here and we say our rosary in front of Our Lady. And we can still do that now because it's cool enough, but it will start to get quite hot. And that's where that Catalpa tree will help with the shade. So we do that. And then over here, Angelo made this very nice prie-dieu, as you can see. So we have that out here. And he also made that really neat bench. So that's most of our garden. This is the swing that the kids play in the sand in the front. Oftentimes we'll sit on these swings too. Let's see, he made this out of all railroad material. There's the insulators up there. We have two mandevillas, hoping that they will climb and show some color on the side of this. And see, here's the two swings. There's all the toys that the kids play with. There's Ginger. Ginger had a rabbit buried in here and was very testy about it if anybody came close. Then this bench I just bought at God's Storehouse for $10. And then the chairs were given to me. There's one that's fallen over in the wind. And here's a wheelbarrow that we have full of flowers. And here's some other knockout roses. No, those were the first ones I showed you. The sticks sticking out. And here's our other garden. So I hope you enjoyed our little tour. Here's our beautiful crabapple tree. And in the spring, like about 3 weeks ago, it had like really deep pink blossoms. Gorgeous. Anyway, that's it for today, and I hope that I'll be able to make one in the summertime And you can see all the blossoms again.